dumelang ra la amogela mo go Daily Thetha on SABC 1 nna ka lebitso ke nna Nicolette wa ga Mashile ngwana wa kwa Bushbuck Ridge Mapulaneng ya re tshwareleng lona leleme la matsogo ke sesi Andisa wa ga Kebashe. Now before ke kena topicing like tiba gore lekgono ke la boraro, which means that re na le yona feature ya rona ya baswa ba leng mafasting, and today we have Denise, who's currently based in New York City. Re tlo ba re mo kwa a little bit later on gore na yena bophelo ba ge a leng New York na bo sepela byang as moswa mo South Africa and part of the Daily Thetha family. But I am absolutely excited about today's show. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about, because bare baswa ke mokokotlo wa setšhaba. So today, baswa ba rona ba mo South Africa, they're going to show us gore, you know what, let's go thathela phansi man. If you give them a chance, they will show you what is called excellence. Melody, talk to me about excellence. Guys, I know excellence, extraordinaire. You know all of it, my baby.
Yes, and of course, for me, as the excellent, for me, because as a young person or in South Africa, having to do 4 jobs just to get through things while studying, I understand what it means to be hungry for opportunity. And we need to celebrate young people that have been excellent. And of course, all the young people that we speak to and speak of today, and we are youth excellence, but also you are a part of it. So social media, hashtag which is Daily Thetha, and of course Instagram, Facebook. We are on Facebook Live.
Yes.
011-339-1315.
That is Daily Thetha. Can you number L? I don't think yes. But for now, let's welcome our studio guests. My darling, Dumela.
Hello,
Nkupuntshwarele Mike son.
Yes.
A re kene mo wena sesi youth excellence ke eng ko wena?
Yeah, wa tseba mo nna ke bona gore re le baswa. Re tshwanetse go no ikemela. Re emelle ka maoto. Re dire difference mo mphaketing wa rena kapa mo youthing kaofela re ba fe inspiration.
Wena o busy ka eng?
Nna ausi wa ka ka lebitso ke asinke ke te introduce ka lebitso ke Sophie from Hammanskraal. Yes, mama nna ke musician.
Yeah.
Yes, and then gape ke dira le tsa acting.
Man, Sophie, man. Sophie, before we start the show, she told us an amazing story. Sophie, you can tell us story how, and what have you overcome to be this excellent person today?
Yes. Ba bogwe go gae. Ke tlo ba mohlala mo lena gore le tieng maikarabelo a lena le te tshepe ka bolena. Nna a ke gopole ke tsena sekolo ke bala grade 5. Or grade 6 or grade 7.
Grade man.
Grade 4.
Yeah.
Yes. But azanka ka give up.
Ke
make sure gore ke me mo neng le kuranta ke a bala. Mo go neng leng ke a bala di abet school ke attenda. Ke make sure gore ke bala di social media. Then ke make sure the phone tsa mo motlhadi are so smart.
Yeah.
Di busy wa tsaba gore phone. Yes. Gore phone o I check. E ya bla le wena. Ere okay Google.
Yes, girl.
What's why you have ere okay Sophie?
Yes.
You can touch me.
Yes. So all right. Melody, before ke tla ka wena, I think abuti wa ka Molly na o na le the similar story sa Sophie. Le ena ke na ga sa story.
Amantabo. Unity is the power. Where there's power, there's unity.
Definitely.
Right. So when there's power.
Yeah.
So when so
Yeah.
But it's just that problem you want to jealousy.
Yeah.
Jealousy are relebacha.
Yeah.
What's about king, ne? But tata we want to get jealous.
Yeah.
We suppose that we very, very far now, but it's just that the problem is just that jealousy.
Yeah.
But I think it's jealousy fela. Kora hakitsi bina wetsala e.
Yeah.
How much I got to Mitsubishi on their phone? O tole I argila iPhone.
Yeah.
Ona o Mitsubishi. Actually, ona na wa iPhone. O tlo ba jealous phone or Mitsubishi phone. Ke problem itabe.
Itshware gona mo. Melody ke yo taba man.
As you put to me, my brother, if it doesn't work out to carry on a mind, you have a fundis in your body. And of course, nakhona I think it is ngebeside lami Putwami njengomuntu omusha esikhathini samanje South Africa we're dealing with 27% unemployment. But in that we have young people abenza kahle doing excellence. What is youth excellent to you?
Okay, ke sa wa gape ke le thapelo wa ko Pitori ile na mo etapele se ga tlhamela masisi.
Come on.
So now my brother wa bona youth excellence ke ntwe ngwe leng gore it has been there.
Sure.
It has been there for over past years and again telling gore it's continuous. So a lot has been taken from us. Right? So it's about time mo eleng gore re le batjha we must take whatever that was taken from us.
Okay, keep it yet. I want to hear you. Sure,
Yes,
sure.
so ke nako mo eleng gore re tshwanetse go ka kharatla wa tlhaloganya. Re tshwanetse go ka create things that are new.
Are you passionate? Think Bambele njani?
So yes, it's about time mo eleng gore we create things that are new.
Sure.
Tse eleng gore back then, right,
Sure.
our parents they were not able to do, right?
So let me ask this. For you, what is youth excellence? How do we define it?
So youth excellence is all about bringing about change, right? Moving forward, right? So that's in a nutshell
Youth excellence. Ngiyabonga Putwami. My sister, thingnike wena quickly. Besikhuluma youth excellence, what are we looking for? Sifunani? If I was looking for youth excellence, what am I looking for?
Ke dumedisa babogedi botlhe ko gae leina la ka ke Matshidiso ke tlhaga ko Zerust na youth excellence ke bone mo batho ba bantsi
Sure.
as mosha there is one person in particular o tla matlhaloganya ka ke le tlhogonelo modisele
Okay.
ne o tlhaga ko Zerust and then ke segwele but because bogole ba ga ba mo tlogedisa ntho tse na batla go di etsa he's a DJ presenter he's a motivational speaker
Sure.
and he's an artist whereby recently I shoot a movie with him. He motivates me a lot because said you can do a lot. Not just because you are disabled doesn't mean you are not able.
Sure.
With me, I'm an actress. I work at the clinic. I'm a community health care worker. I supply action vehicles for productions. I sell shoes. I sell everything that you can give to me. As youth, we need to be able to sell things. We need to be able to do things. 7 to 4 doesn't mean you are going to be rich. 7 to 4 doesn't complete me. So when you are out there and you are youth, there is a lot that you can do. There is social media. There's so many other ways that you can make money, even when you are sitting at home. So what I'm saying to all youth out there is go out there. Make the best out of yourself. Don't wait for somebody to hire you. Don't wait for somebody to come and tell you that you are great. You are great as you are.
Sure.
Social media from Ntalo by I know young people that had wishes of doing amazing things but never got enough support and facilities.
Sure.
Mostly those are from rural areas. They do not have the potential. They do have the potential, but they just don't know the road to take. And I think that's the most inspiring thing about today's show, because today in the rural areas, rural areas, aeroplane, phone. Guys, youth in South Africa is busy, Melody. I mean, the call of the 1976 youth was to go and liberate us. The call of youth here today, ki inyona.
Besibuye ku-ad break sizokwazi ukuthi sikutshele. Siyabuya.
I'm back on Daily Thetha. Who are doing extraordinary things. Because, I mean, listen, you know, there's a thing, we spoke about it a couple of days ago. Yeah. Representation. TV. Okay, I can be a pilot. I can be a doctor.
Yeah.
And those things generally don't happen for a lot of us, right? But today, it is possible. We've got two young, inspirational women.
Amazing women.
Queens who are doing absolutely amazing things. We're joined by Dr. B. She is Bongiwe Nkangulela. Look at me getting it right. And then we've got Olarato Mage. Olarato is, she's a pilot. She's working towards her commercial license. Dr. B is fixing our teeth. How amazing. Welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you so much.
Ladies, I am actually, I've got shivers. And simply because Liba Banyani, you are young. You are young, you are doing absolutely amazing things. Re tla starta ka wena, Olerato. Tell us your story. We are here to absorb, we want to take it all in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, as you guys heard, I'm Olerato Major. I just turned 24, I think, last week.
Olerato, ndirele favor,
Yes.
sis.
24, guys.
24.
Pilot.
Ke kopa le nketse favor.
Yes.
Bua le nkgono wa ko ntlong gore a go utlwe ka Setswana se o se tsebang.
Oh, of course. Kana
Yeah.
age mara sona ke sa ko Northern Cape ke re.
Sona seo.
Se tshegisa batho, but I'm 23. I kitse gore ke 23 ka Setswana ke o
It's
bua
fine,
yang a ke
yeah.
re. Mara tla tsalla ko pele.
Yeah.
Ke thomile go flyer 4 years ago, go Lanseria.
Yeah.
I can't say it was an easy journey.
Yeah.
I kgone gore ga ya tsa matsapa etse le matsapa ma intsi le tšhelete e intsi bona
Yeah.
mo mama ka dutseng teng wa itse fre yo tšhelete e ne re sokodisa kere
Yeah.
and e sokodisa batho ba ba intsi, especially people from disadvantaged backgrounds.
Yeah.
There is unfortunately no funding in aviation, and yet there is so many jobs.
And
There is a
opportunities.
shortage of pilots, there's a shortage of cabin crew, there's a shortage of engineers, there's a shortage of everything in aviation spaces, just that we can't build that bridge, finances, so on. My journey though, I think ke thomile go fly because of Mamaka. Mamaka is Operakala Air Force.
Okay.
And then Butuaka later on learn about join Air Force. So go gola ke phela kwa tla go ba Butuaka. Everything
Yeah.
Butuaka na se dira ke se dira.
Yeah.
I think ke started go drive when I was 14 even. No one taught me. I just grew up watching my brother do it. So I just got into the car one day and I was like, I'm driving now.
Sure.
And they were very shocked. I think I've just been like that. That's been my personality from a young age. I learned from seeing, observing, and then I just do it. I guess I'm like him, Mudimu untatile in that way.
Yeah.
But my brother became very, very fascinated with aviation, Hadra and other military. And when he came back from basic, I remember my mom took us to the air shows, which we go to every year.
Yeah.
Mama ke lena na le busy ka do tsa di CNDs, recruiting pilots and engineers for the Air Force. So I would always go to those camps and miss school.
Don't say that out loud.
But it was worth it. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
mind saying it out loud because
Yeah.
till this day, I can't believe the grades that I left school with. Phenomenal grades, even though, I mean, I wasn't there 80% of the time. I was on the road with my mom, learning about aviation. Being able to speak to pilots from the Air Force at that age, for me, that changed my life. But seeing the love my brother had for it when we were at that air show, I was like, this is it. This is the career I want to. What is law? You know what I mean?
All right, I just want to ask a question. Do you believe the exposure that you got of seeing your mother in the space contributed to Kulu?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was say like Thetha ne mare. I still say till this day, I wish there was young people such as myself and the young people that I've met as well along my journey in aviation, who are trying to really go back to schools, from primary schools, and talk to learners. If I had known that I could have been a pilot in primary school, I wouldn't have spent my entire high school life working towards becoming an engineer.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, something that I was not passionate about, something I was naturally good at but not passionate about.
Okay.
That's the problem. I think there's just not a lot of people. Yes, we have career expos at school, but you get your lawyers, your doctors, all these
roots.
But aviation really still isn't there. You have to go to air shows. Your parent has to like it. It's still very not accessible to a lot of kids, and a lot of kids still don't know that they can do it.
I reckon say Dr. B no more, because Dr. B, you wanted to be a lawyer. That's what you thought. And then you ended up as a dentist. Take us through that story.
Okay, just to pick up on what she said, representation is everything.
Yeah.
So that's what was represented to me.
now, ndithetha
Close. Oh, but you don't need representation. Okay, no, Dakula Utata, I'm a lawyer at the time. And I thought this is my option. My mom was a lecturer, and I thought, nah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do what my dad was doing.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker, and I just knew I wanted to do that. And then does wanna sending iFundi because iFunda kakhulu mantata incwadi.
Yeah.
Every day on holiday, sihamba nencwadi, pakisha incwadi, and I was like, ndiyafunda by a lawyer, but not like this.
Yeah.
So, and then I just had to consider something that I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, let me be a doctor. but bendingafunu bangugqirha owe flu and all those things.
Yeah.
And some surgical things still put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I started having dental problems of my own.
Yeah.
I had facial reconstructive surgery.
Oh, wow.
And that's when it was opened up to me that, well, you could do this.
Yes.
And mainly because of the way it made me feel about myself.
Yes.
And I think that's what drives me. It's, I want to make people feel good about themselves because I do feel like everything starts from inside.
Yeah.
And how you feel about yourself is how you how you portray it to the world.
Yeah.
So I just want people to like the way that they look, like the way that they feel, be in good health. And I feel like that will pour out into everything else that they do in their lives.
You know what, we're very proud of the both of you.
Sure.
Like, I'm inspired by just what you guys are doing as young girls, inspiring other young girls. And talking about young girls who are also experiencing and flying high in a party, I guess it's like with youth around the world, siboneke uDinisi yona say New York. Ukuthi yena impilo yakho ibona kanjani? Asithi siboye uthini.
Hi, I'm Denise Musiana. I am a trained actor working and living in New York City. From what I've seen, living in New York, the standards of youth excellence are every single stereotype that we have grown up watching. It's all true. I can only speak from my point of view as a Black youth. The thing that I've seen Black youth hold success as is entertainment success. Just like you've seen it on TV, that's exactly what they see as important as the height of achievement. One of the major things that the youth face here in New York is a high cost of living. Just looking at the most basic need, which is shelter, you are going to be paying maybe $1,500 to $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. The best thing you could do for yourself living here is to go into a field where you are in demand, you're sought after. When I first got here 7 years ago, I was shocked that there were 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds still folding shirts in a department store. When you look at the opposite of what it's like in SA, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds are starting to find themselves. The economy is allowing for people to start owning property, to drive cars. Here, it's so expensive that you can't do that.
I mean, we're just listening to Denise how difficult it is to maneuver life in New York City. I'm just thinking about Lunalili Tuna. How difficult, because you both ligene into two industries that are probably very, very difficult. And I think let's quickly come to you, Dr. B. Being a Black female dentist in this country.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you see, I've also got braces. I get to Nankatla go in. Yeah, and you're young. Why don't they trust you?
I think it was more difficult in the beginning. So I started treating patients at 22. So
at 22, I'm not trusting you with my teeth. Yeah.
So Omama would come in when I was still in community service.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, open the hotel. And I'm like, it's me, Mama. And then the people I was working with had to defend me a lot.
Sure.
They were like, but Makulu, this is what you want your grandchild to be like.
Yes.
So here they are, they're here now. So you have to let her treat you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it started off like that, but I think it's changing.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to see more young people do things. So even if they've seen it in another space, they're starting to believe in us a lot more.
Yeah.
So I don't face it as much. I do get the odd look.
Yeah.
Like so you're not the assistant, you're the actual doctor. So I still get that, but I think you have to own your space in order for them to take you seriously.
Watch Uzosbini wants to take up space, guys, and that's what we're doing. Basoma South Africa, they are taking up space, they are doing extraordinary things, and we're going to have more of them after the break.
Molweni Mzansi Afrika, igama lami nguLudwekazi Ndlazi, and I am at your service. Baninzi abaqala their own businesses and they say, I really don't have a blueprint. And that's bandenza ntoni, and I'm just kind of winging it. So we are looking at the anecdote. One such example is Theo Baloyi, and he has started a sneaker brand yakhe that has really just taken over. Let's go here and meet him. Simba uthini na yena.
I grew up in a place called Pake. It's a few kilometers outside Hammarskraal. Relocated to Johannesburg in 2009 to further my studies, and I lived in Alexandra for some time while pursuing my undergrad and my postgrad. You know, I'm an accountant by profession. I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, for about 5 years. 2 years in South Africa and 3 years in the Middle East, based in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. And that's where I spent most of my corporate life at, with the firm. And I'm currently running a proudly African sneaker brand, Ipatu. Growing up, I wanted to be a soccer star, and I knew that I also wanted to be in business, And quite ironic that when I was doing my second year, I used to sell perfumes door to door, or in the streets of Alex, just trying to make some extra cash and also raise some allowance. And I think that's where the entrepreneurial bug bit me. I used to buy a lot of sneakers when I was in the Middle East. And I just realized that I've got so many sneakers, I might as well own a sneaker brand, and I did 18 months of research and development, proof of concept at the time, and I found out actually, and I identified that we don't have an African sneaker brand. The challenge that I've encountered starting the business was that, number one, no one funded us till this day. I used my savings from corporate work, as an accountant, it's like 5 years savings, I used all of it to invest in the business, and the pressure comes along with, trying to build a shoe brand that Africans can proudly affiliate with and benchmark it with international footwear brands, is that there's no footprint for an African brand that has ever done it. So the consumers or the investors or the stakeholders will often try to have the same, expectation as the international footwear brands, and without even knowing or taking into consideration that for me, I'm building everything else myself, the value chain, and no one has ever done it the way I'm trying to do it. So therefore, I don't have a blueprint to do it. So to compare our business with these international footwear brands is quite unfair, and then to really expect us to really perform at that level as a business that has been operational for only 5 years, and trying to compare us with a brand that has been there for 6 years, it's a lot of pressure for us. I think I always say this, that I think to each and every aspiring entrepreneur out there to say, make sure that your intentions are clear before you even make that call to start something.
Kuhlala kukhuthaza ukuva abantu abenza izinto ezimangalisayo nezinkulu besixelela about their own stories, and we start seeing ourselves through them. So I guess what we can gather here is that all you really need to do is take the first step and just start something. You'll make it through.
I have a few to listen, of course, and now in Venezuela, out here say Kasim, out here say Alex, out here representing Hammarskraal. Theo Baloyi, of course, joining us on the chair, and of course, I've got Zarif Minty also, who is here. I sit and I think to myself as a young man, is that it's always amazing not have to look for an old person to be inspired by, but I'm inspired by my peers. Gentlemen, welcome to the show firstly, and congratulations on your successes. And I mean, what an amazing opportunity to see and live in the times where under 30s are just doing the things. Start with Theo. Theo, I mean, as out of us, 5 years into that business, Ipatu is one of the biggest brands in South Africa right now, and it represents Africa. I mean, who's who wears your shoes?
Yeah.
What was the challenge as Outseka to get there?
Thank you for the invite. I mean, for me, with my corporate job, like as I've mentioned on the video, that I'm an accountant by profession. I think the challenge was that in my industry, it's retail and it's very capital intensive, meaning that
Yeah,
and then without even knowing if the product is going to do so well. So we started very small, with our proof of concept, and then if you look at our sneakers, they're very different. They are mesh, and then in the shoe industry, a mesh material is used as a component of a shoe. My idea was to build, a shoe around mesh so that I can create ventilation.
I'm
Yeah. So Mankala, just to convince a factory to say, guys, ngiphethe idea in Tswembu, abantu bayafuna, and it's as good as international brand. To convince the factory to do that was a challenge for me, because it's been shining for about 13 months, saying no. 13 times, actually, saying no to me because of the idea was sort of unique and innovative, So that was the biggest challenge. Number two, to convince our own people, convince our consumers to say, le brand le ipatha in Tswembu better than in Nike, or Adidas, So to convince that and to really position the brand alongside, those international footwear brands, that was my biggest challenge as well.
Sure. And of course, I mean, you started out in your back room to leave it. I mean, the whole system, the whole cycle, to be able to turn around the things you have. I mean, employment. How many stores do you have now nationally?
I've got 5, opening 7 more. We employ 68 people.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, and abantu abaya basiba employer, baphume kasi. Like as I said, I was an accountant, I'm living in the peps. But my reality was that all the time I'm driving, I could see good abantu bethu bayabhayiseka,
Sure.
So it's like, let me start something that can reignite hope, number one, and create sustainable jobs. And in Vandag, we employ about 68 people, and then 80% of those are from LX, most of them predominantly townships. And we're planning to employ about 100 more by June.
Lovely. I think let's bring in Zarif. Zarif, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
I mean, we've had you on the show, and the last time we had you on the show, we're talking Forbes 30 under 30, right? And you've just been selected. The accolades, you've had many accolades. You are young, you are inspirational. What builds, who is Zarif? If you were to tell us who you are, what would you say that could inspire the youth?
Yeah, I think it's really important that in South Africa, before I even answer that question, I think we need to really start celebrating each other more. If you know what I'm saying. So I just want to take a moment just to celebrate Theo here. Lovely. Theo just made a list of the top 80 most influential people in South Africa.
Hey, hey.
Now let's give him a huge round of applause for that.
Oh, just so I can add, I'm also on the 80.
You're also on the 80 list.
Come on now.
There we go. Let's give a round of applause.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I would say Zarif is definitely a game changer.
Yes.
I really believe in the concept of disrupting markets, being the type of person to enter into an industry and then just changing things up. Yeah. Like what an Uber does. Yeah. Uber changed the way that we look at life and the way that people run their businesses and the way that people look at society. I love young people that are those type of people that are game changers, that are change makers, And it's very important that we emphasize that in South Africa as well. We need people who think of innovative ideas. Yes. So if I have to talk about myself, I think I'm someone who loves innovation. Yeah. I love the concept of seeing young people succeeding, but they must succeed in ways that are going against the grain that everyone's used to, I love it when you see a Theo who's now creating he's becoming the next Jay-Z or P. Diddy. Yeah. He's owning ownership of his own brand. That's what we're thinking about now. So we need to understand the value of those type of people.
Zarif, tell me, what conversations are you having with your parents as a child growing up? I think, because that's sometimes, and I think it's back to what Olarato said, exposing her to different life, a different way of life. Yeah. What conversations are you or were you having with your parents and still currently are having right now?
So I grew up in a very small town in the Northwest Province, Klerksdorp. And my parents have a very conventional way of thinking, go out there, study as hard as you can, get a job, start a family, get old, and then the process continues. Yeah. So I looked for mentorship in other people. Nice. I found a lot of business people that actually provided mentorship for me. My parents are amazing people, but they're not the best when it comes to entrepreneurship. Okay. Because of their mindset, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we must also understand people play different roles in different spaces in your life. So I learned a lot from mentors. I had mentors since I was the age of 14 and 15.
Can you name some of those mentors?
I mean, someone who was a mentor to me was Gayton McKenzie when I was 15 years old. The first person who helped me with my first brand, I started up a clothing company at the age of 15. The first person who wore my clothing on national TV was Kenny Kunene on his So What show, and that opened up doors for me. I started having meetings with corporate companies at the age of 15. I used to miss high school classes.
Hey, you guys are missing a lot of school.
15?
When?
15, yeah.
We were playing Hectic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it started off at that age. People like DJ Spoo has been a mentor to me since I was really young until even now. Yeah. I mean, I speak to him on a daily basis. He's advising me on how to build up my businesses. Sure. He's done such a great job with his businesses, and you can only learn from him. I always believe that you can learn from people who have done it before you. And that's who you need to look at for mentorship. Yeah. because a lot of people are going to give you advice out there, but a lot of them are still learning skills themselves. It's always nice to learn from people who have done it before, like the DJ Spoos in Entrepreneurship, or many other successful business people out there as well.
Nice.
100%. And I think the one part engithanda lokhuluma ngayo mfowethu ukuthi i-mentorship kubaluleke kanjani ukuthi kube nomuntu okugqugquzelayo okukhulisayo and someone that guides you, because mentorship is a very important thing. So before ngiyeke kusithombe sathu, let me just quickly take a caller. We've got a call on the line. Welcome to Daily Thetha la SABC 1.
Hello, Polite.
Hello, how are you?
We go on, Jan says.
And Pokile Ninjani.
I cannot
have a problem. I
Dalwa me.
Okay, mina betramna mina polite no ma deep sluti. So let's not touch bula korena ban try ta kota ko bela tongoni ya mahlweni e go ingaphumelela the social system determine who we are. For instance, unemployment ayimphumelelang gore e determine gore mina man namuntlha Baba man minzu kunbaba sonina degree ya psychology yenze at the University of Johannesburg. So lokwendeka honors ya mina UNISA. Mara kuri over psychologist utirani fano ku masters ya wena so sona antshama ngantsena nangelo ko okay everything start to business circumstances and then the fitness instructor everything ikambela kahle life in. So loko ntafika lana bakufika kona because apparently tikona the internship ta psychology but it's limited. Everything in psychology is limited, and again, so I'm trying to change a direction to psychometrics. So I want to be a psychometrist now because it is an inbox back anytime. It's just a internship there 6 months. You have to pay about 45,000. So I'm busy trying to sell things so that I can save that 45,000. I'm from a family of 6. Let's save my fees. So there are many ways to kill a cat, and then you must find out.
Thank you so much.
Polite. Cool.
Yeah.
And just to also add, I mean, she has to change direction of her career and how the economy itself also is pushing us to change things. My sister, just can you, as a speaker, when you go and you speak to Abantabasha, when you speak about things like mentorship, success, and staying focused, in your opinion, what are we doing right and maybe what we're not doing right at this stage?
Okay. I feel for me, one thing that we're not doing right, Uguti, we are leaving behind the young people. We cannot say we are addressing issues of unemployment, youth unemployment, and we're leaving behind young people who have the ideas, because I believe that young people have innovative solutions as to how can we address issues such as unemployment. When you talk about women empowerment, why are we still having like abantu abadala sitting in parliament, whereas we have young people who study things like your political sciences? We have people in the civil society organization spaces who know what needs to be in those policies. How do we then like challenge those things? So we just need to allow young people to lead.
That's very, very convincing, because I feel like the conversation allow young people to lead and occupy these spaces is a conversation that's really, really important. And we're going to come back to it right after this break.
Senamgela back to Daily Thetha la SABC 1. Nasikhuluma khona ngezinto zabantabasha, sikhuluma nabantabasha, sabantabasha, and we're all changing the dynamic and the conversations. And of course, sikhuluma nge youth excellence namhlanje. And njengoba sikhuluma ngakho, there's one thing esihlulayo thina bantabasha. I say this in society, is that we have this thing of pull him down syndrome or pull head down syndrome, where jealousy amongst abangani, you know, where you see your friends succeeding and your biggest fans are kusumngani wakho. You understand? I mean, you're two successful young people who are doing phenomenally well. I'm sure your haters right now are watching, but Theo, you stress someone.
They just put anyone on TV.
I want to understand, the first question is, have you experienced a pull him down or pull head down scenario?
Before I answer that, you know, I mean, our mentor, and I seen our mentor, because he mentors a lot of people, inspires a lot of people. DJ Spoo says, ignore nonsense, focus on what matters, retain hate with love, kill them with kindness, and bury them with success. You know? So for me, now I was fortunate because I've got a very small circle. Number one,
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Nicola offside.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very big on energy. You know,
Yeah.
so if I don't gel with the energy, I cut off. You know,
Yeah.
so I've maintained that. So if I really don't align with you to my core, and it does not mean that there's something wrong with you. Sometimes you just don't click with people.
Yeah.
So for me, I adopt that methodology. You know, to say if the energy is not great, I cut off. It was nice meeting you. Sisonga tell me, and then I
Yeah.
move on. You know,
Yeah. Sure.
my circle is very small. I only have one friend, my best friend, whom is in the business together. I'm together in the business with.
Yeah.
So it was very easy for me. So if it's jealousy, it's not in my circle.
Yeah.
It's far.
Sure, that's powerful. We've got a question for you, Sis Olerato from Lamula. But before we get into that question, I just want to ask Dr. B a question. If we can just pass the mic to Dr. B.
Sure.
Dr. B, but they can maybe listening to stories say you come from a privileged background, right? And can use that then as a weapon to try and undermine the work that you do. How do you circumvent that? And how do you say to another person who might not come from a similar background as you to say, there are opportunities within the space and you can get them?
Firstly, I truly believe that you can't run away from the hard work that goes into it.
Yeah.
No matter how much privilege you come from.
Yeah.
Mostly I'm privileged in my personality. I'm able to make connections.
Nice.
With people from all walks of life, people
Nice.
that do different things.
Yeah.
You know, I will never run away from conversation, even with like a designer like Uladuma. I talk to him and I draw inspiration from those things.
Yeah.
And I think coming from a privileged background is really helpful in terms of the education perspective.
Yeah.
And the support that I get. So my problems will be slightly different, but I still have them. And you can't run away from it. Everyone has their own journey.
Yeah.
And I think once you've identified where the weak points or where the things in your life that are pulling you down and you work at them, then that's how you kind of build yourself up from wherever you are.
Can you do me a favor? In 30 seconds, can you tell us the hard work you just spoke about? Because I think a lot of us really want to say successfully, and we forget there's so much that goes into building being a Dr. B. What does your typical day in your life look like?
Okay, typical day in my life, I wake up really early to exercise because I'm too tired to do it when I come back from work.
Yeah.
I do very labor-intensive work. Being a dentist, I sit like this the entire day. I constantly have shoulder problems and backache. Sometimes I don't eat at work because someone wants to come in on their lunch break. That means I don't get a lunch break. So it requires a lot of sacrifice in terms of time. You can't do everything. You can't be up all night, especially when I was studying. I think that's also where I sacrificed a lot. I did not go out when I was in varsity. I stayed on the books. Now I'm enjoying the fact that I stayed on the books. Now I get to enjoy a little bit more about life. And those things are always there. So I'm glad my mom told me that a long time ago. But the hard work part is getting people to believe in you in your own industry.
Yeah.
That's where I didn't get a lot of support inside my industry. That's why a lot of my inspiration comes from people in other industries, artists, musicians. And so I try and take pages out of their book. And my main aim is to reupholster it or like align it to what I want to do. So I see someone great and I say, how do I take their greatness and put it into my own life?
100%.
Nice.
So, umbuzo obungenala ku-Facebook, it comes from Ulamola Puti. Uti, hi there, Olorato, I'm a bit concerned about your age as a pilot. So please tell, how old were you when you completed, I guess, your matric? And also, how long did it take to complete your aviation studies? And of course, that's a big thing because now you're still very young. And the trust issues now are coming in.
I'm concerned.
I mean, imagine if she saw how tiny I am in real life, she'd be even more concerned. So, honestly, I get this question a lot, not only from people who are not in the aviation industry, but those who are in the aviation industry. Something that people need to understand is that there's a lot of factors that play in getting your license or becoming a pilot. Firstly, the studies never finish. I'm going to be studying for the rest of my life. The airline pilots that are flying you right now still have to do tests every year. We need to keep our competency up because we have, 200... close to 200 lives
even
in our hands.
On the ground.
Even on the ground, and just my life as well, you know what I mean? I need to be competent enough to save my life as well. My matric, I finished matric in 2014. I finished earlier.
How old were
Then
you?
I was 18, but I finished earlier. So I didn't finish at the end of the year like everyone else. I worked at a faster pace, so I finished, I think, by June, July.
Hey man, wait, what do you mean? What did I matric when everybody was writing this up?
Yeah, no,
the prelims.
Yes, so I finished everything. Like because I traveled with my mom a lot,
Yeah.
my school allowed me to just to come in and write my test and do my work. And because I really didn't have a learning problem.
Yeah.
Like I've
No,
said,
say
I
it properly,
finished.
clever.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think just because growing up, there was a lot of challenges. My mom is a single parent, and we faced a lot of things. And at a young age, I realized, how am I going to make my mom happy? How can I bring my mom happiness? And for me, it was like bringing good grades home.
Yeah.
I finished matric with 92% average. Like I wanted my mom to be proud. I wanted my mom to be getting those. I wanted my mom to be that woman who's proud, watching me get those accolades, those trophies, you know what I mean? With everything else that's going on, I wanted her to be like, wow, God gave me a gift, it's my children.
Into this situation.
I think because of Kokwaka, she would always tell me, "Dichomi ne, ska wa ka dichomi wena, wena focus on skolong le dilo tse di le modimo." Like, so growing up, yes, I won't lie, it hindered a lot in terms of just being a normal social person, you know what I mean? And I think that's why when I finished my studies, I went to aviation, and I also told my mom and my brother, hey, I'm not gonna do engineering, I'm gonna do something that I love, okay? I went into aviation, I moved out of home. I'm in this space now, meeting people from all over Africa, because South Africa is the cheapest place to come and do your flight training. Wow. Everyone from the world comes and trains here, from Italy, from Europe, everyone comes and does their studies here. I started learning how to deal with people, started learning this whole friendship thing, started learning how people do, when people are jealous of you, they will pull you down. I had to learn all of these things very late in my life, but because, again, with the whole energy thing, and something that I was lucky, I'm fortunate enough to have, I judge who I feel like I should spend time with based on energy. I don't compromise. If I feel like you bring negativity in my life, or you pull me down, or you're not, I don't know, you're not a person that's going to build me as a person I can build, then
I say both of you are cut off. Yes. Just quickly, we're gonna go to an ad break, but just quickly tell us, who is your support base currently?
I mean, in the business?
Generally, as a person.
I think my employees, I need to give it out to my employees, because they really understand the vision, this vision that I started in my room in Alex, and then everyone came on board and created this vision. So I think if it wasn't for my employees, the people that I work with, our stakeholders, our factory, our service providers, that is my main support, because they really understand, the vision. Every time when they're working on different types of projects, in different avenues in the business, they really understand the vision. So without them, I don't think I would have had this support.
Sure, that is powerful. That is absolutely powerful, because at the end of the day, babereki bago also become probably the most important ambassadors of your business. Guys, we're coming back after the break. It's going to be even more explosive. Do stay with us.
And of course, welcome back to Daily Thetha la SABC 1 again. Qhubeka inkulumo yethu, which is youth excellence. Ngithemba ukuthi ku social media nawe usasebenzisa hashtag yakho, which is Daily Thetha. La ukwazi ukuthi na uphawule ufake umcabango wakho. And of course, isikhuluma ngento mina engicabanga ukuthi is close to my heart. As umuntu okhulile, I've seen myself rise in the industry. Kodwa phezu kwalokho, I've lost a lot of friends because angibhizi, anginasikhathi ukuthi ngihlala emakhoneni sixoxe. I'm always running and chasing a dream, and that makes you seem like ucabanga ukuthi ngcono. And it's not because we think it's ngcono, but it's because we are so hungry for the personal. Then it means, how do I deal? Unomuntu omusha is going through what I've gone through. Unomuntu omusha, how do we deal with this psychological touch? How do we mentally push ourselves to say it's okay to lose friends? It's okay to lose people that you started with, but now I'm going to call it up.
I think it goes back to your value chain.
Yeah.
You need to work around your values. What do you value the most? And we need to understand that some people come into our lives for a season, some come for a reason, some are even there to just give you a life lesson.
Sure.
Taking it back to me, because I'm a very busy person as well. I'm doing women empowerment, and all those things. And when people see you, they already conclude as to say, this is the kind of person you are. And when they come into your space and you feel, Luguti, this is not for me. And like you sort of like build a barrier there to say, yes, we can work together, but you can't be in my personal space.
Sure.
I think it just boils down to your value system as a person. What do you value the most? For me, I know my values are family, love, and religion. That's it. So if you know what you value, then you won't even be shaken by someone who's jealous. And I think jealousy is a disease. Jealousy is it's something because when I might be laughing with you right now and be like, oh, happy, but deep down I'm hurting that why are you succeeding? Instead of me coming to you and say, how are you doing it? Can you walk with me? Or can you refer me to someone who can assist me in growing this vision or this dream that I have?
Sure. My brother, I want to bring you in real quick. For you, as a person who's growing in excellence, what do you think we could do better as the youth of South Africa?
As the youth of South Africa, I think that it's important for us to, discover who we are as a youth, where we come from, our heritage, and also, maybe look more into deassociating ourselves from, obviously, foul exposures, things that, like in our community where I'm from, we're exposed to a lot of like gangsterism, drugs, I think we should get more healthier and more inspirational influences. I think, that will curb sort of the
whole situation.
Idea,
okay, one more quick one before Ngizagwen and Nicolette. Of course, I want to bring you in, my brother, real quick. For you, what is the one thing we need to focus on as we leave the show, as we talk about your excellence?
Excellence in Afrikaans, uitstekend. I need to just bring that in. Uitstekend is a meaning where you come out and you stand for what you are.
Come on.
To embrace that, it is that we're excellent in different things. We need to find who we are. Sometimes you're just excellent to give thanks to the next person. That's who you are. So sometimes we want to do a lot of things that's not for us. Sure. So as a youth member, as a youth actor, that in my community, as a young man said, where we come from, we don't have that opportunity. But we made it for ourselves because it is how we grew up, where our parents tell us, as jy uitstekend het is in die dinge, let it work for you. So for my advice for the you there outside, stop fantasizing to be the next person, be you, and find what are you excellent in, and then you will succeed in that process. That's why.
And I think it definitely, Melody, equal to what the comment is coming from Tato saying, well, nothing is impossible, but if you're a goal-driven person, know what you want and you'll be able to achieve all your goals. As we, the youth, have different talents, but we do not want to know what our talents are. We focus on material things that's seeking for our future and success. First, everyone has his or her own talent. Let's just give ourselves a chance to know what we have for our future. And Zarif, I think it goes to the question that I want to ask you. Do we all have a chance to be successful and excellent?
I think so. I believe that if you're looking at South Africa in general, as like our South African youth, we're probably one of the most talented, most innovative young people as a community or as a country in the world. It's just the mindset that needs to change, right? And it's exactly that. We need to start believing in ourselves more. So that whole fear of failure is a really important thing. 68% of young people don't start up businesses or don't do well academically. Because of this fear of failure, And if we can stop that and people can actually start businesses immediately, like someone was telling me that they wanted to start up a company a few minutes ago. If you register your company, you can do it in a few minutes and become a CEO of your company.
Lovely.
But it's all about doing, it's all about the implementation of it. We need to start believing in ourselves more, and that's very, very important. But I do believe we have the qualities without a doubt.
We definitely have the qualities. Before we go to Dora from Klerksdorp, quickly, Dr. B, what are you saying to the little girl? Look, Peggy, namhlanje. Athi nami ngifuna uba Dr. B, ngifuna uba Dr. N, Dr. C, Dr. D. Uthini kuye?
Firstly, if I'm here, you are definitely capable and strong enough and good enough to be where I am. But you can also do better. That's what I would say.
That's all you're going to say.
That's all.
All right, Melody, I think let's definitely go to Klerksdorp. This is Dora. This is Dora Dumel.
Dumelang bagaetsho o buang ke Dora Jane.
Kena stabeng se se Dora.
Dora Jane went to school with Zarif Minty.
Oh, hello, Zarif. Do you know Dora? Say hello to Dora, Zarif.
Hi, Dora.
Hi, Zarif. Salam. I'd like to pass my message to Zarif to say I am proud of you. And thank you very much for putting Klerksdorp in the map, especially Northwest. But most of all, I'm proud of you for being a success you are. And listening to your parents, I know how hard they are when it comes to schoolwork, but most of all, I'm proud of you, my brother.
Oh, thank you so much, Dora. How sweet is that?
And of course, and you understand, Uguti, what a moment as a parent, Uguti, this is my boy, this is my girl. And I said this yesterday, funny enough, Uguti, social media, Uguti, it's so important to celebrate Sabangan Bako. It's so important to say, my brother, you are winning, congratulations. Because the more you win, the more I win. Every time a friend of yours, actually, Uguti, Apume Lukshini, Ayotale SABC, because and we need to think about how we need to expand as abantu abasha. Umona bafethu, hi. Putam, where should we put more effort right now? We've spoken a bit about jealousy, but as a nation, as abantu abasha, to increase youth excellence.
Mindset.
Sure.
If you cannot think about it, you cannot have it. As long as you continue to think in a certain way, you will continue to behave in that certain way. But the day young people will start to change our mind, the day the things that we see will change. For we are the product of our thoughts. That is why James Allen was right when he says, as a man continue to think, so is he. So you are the product of your thoughts. If you say I can't, you will not. If you say I can, you can. There is a concept in psychology called RES, reticular activating system. Your mind is loyal to you. Your mind is faithful to you. Your mind will always want to prove a point that you are right. For an example, if you say I am not good, your mind will gather evidence and create a blind spot. Even if you are good, your mind will not permit you to see the goodness because it will want to create a blind spot so that it can come with you with a clear evidence to say you are not good. So my message to young people is let us transform our mind. The day we transform our mind, the day the things that we see will change.
I get it.
Melody. I think Mangli Mang Alibeleng Daily Thetha Lekgono has been inspired. Because today has been that day where Basaba Daily Thetha have actually just shown us this is definitely the show where the youth is taking charge.
I'm going to catch you, my friend.
All right.
I want to on national TV say, Nicolette, you're phenomenal. As a person, Nicolette, in terms of business, in terms of friendship, in terms of growing other people. This is what we talk about with Daily Thetha, whereby we need to encourage each other.
My friend, this is a quota of air because he knows Melody is absolutely phenomenal. But guys, you are phenomenal. Everywhere you are, keep reminding yourself for the mindset that just needs to change. But thank you very much for tuning in. And tomorrow, we are back, SABC 1, 10:30. We'll pay a tribute to Tate Joseph Chabalala, who was the lead and the founder of Ladysmith Black Mambazo. So do tune in. Thank you very much.